I hate to see runners injured because most running injuries are preventable. Good morning, guys. If you're catching the replay, please comment replay down below. That'll just help more people see the video so they can learn how to not get injured, which is what I'm going to talk about today, a little bit of injury prevention. So a little bit about myself and why I feel like I should be talking to you about this at all. I am Steph. I'm a physical therapist and a run coach. I've been a physical therapist for 13 years now going on, and I have a special interest in working with runners. I've treated runners for probably the past 10 plus years, and so because I've got an interest in that, I have taken extra coursework from running experts and researchers from around the world. I keep up on it too. I'm constantly listening to podcasts from running experts out there and looking at the research and all of that. So I know a fair amount about running injuries and have had some myself, and I've helped a lot of people come back from running injuries. So I want to kind of share some things with you guys because I see a lot of you in here getting injured or having dealt with injuries before, and I hate to see that. I hate to see runners injured because most running injuries are preventable. And so part of my goal and like my life mission at this point in my life is to help runners to prevent injuries because, again, they're very, very largely preventable. So if you're finding yourself constantly injured, or if you have been injured before and that maybe stopped you from running, just leave a comment like injured or yes, that's me, because it's very, very common. It's happened to me, and obviously a lot of people I've worked with, a lot of my friends. So it's very common. It's a repetitive sport. We are doing the same motions over and over again, and for miles and miles, and there's this constant pounding on our muscles, our tissues, our joints. And so if there's any kind of imbalances, if there's weaknesses or tightnesses in certain areas, if we don't have the right type of shoe, if our form is off, if we're running on a certain surface all the time, there's so many different factors that can play into it. But the more you can correct and take care of what we have control over, which is really most of, other than the weather, we can't control that, but we can control a lot of factors in our running and how we do things. So I want to kind of talk about what you can control and what you should be thinking about if you do find yourself constantly being injured. So one of the things is form. So having good running form is pretty key in efficiency, in being efficient as a runner. And the more efficient you are, the less likely you are to be injured because you're moving optimally. Your body is doing what it's supposed to do. So I did a challenge video in December on form, and so there's a little test in there to see how balanced you are, basically. But really, good form should be upright posture. Your head and shoulders should be up in a line. You should have a slight forward lean, but it should come from your ankles. You should be fairly upright otherwise. And your strike should be pretty close to your body. So the center of gravity is where the center of your body is, and your strike should be close to that, and that's going to really fix a lot of your posture things. So anybody in here who has had injuries or issues with form, you probably have seen me comment, try and take shorter, quicker steps, driving your elbows back. That'll shorten your stride a little bit and just make you more efficient, which usually will clean up a lot of those form issues. So that's something to think about if you are really pounding the ground really hard when you're running. That a lot of times will lead to some shin splints. That pounding, that force has to go somewhere when you hit, and so it goes up into your leg, and one of the first places that it gets impacted is your shin, and so those muscles aren't used to that, so they start to get painful. So you should be kind of light, quick on your feet. We want some like springy action there in order to, lighten the load basically that's going up through our legs and make us more efficient. So another common problem, so this is 2 of 3, I should say. So form is number 1. Number 2 is overtraining. So a lot of beginners, bless you, because you're so excited and you want to get out there, but you go out and you do too much, too fast, too hard, and you get hurt. You start to hurt. So because of the repetitive nature of running, it takes gradual adding of running. If you're doing run walk intervals, it takes gradual increase in order for your body to really build up that tolerance to that impact of running. So I always recommend, if you're a very, very beginner, starting with run walk intervals, you're going to start doing more walking than running, and then you're gradually increasing your run time, and over 2 to 3 months, and that really builds your base. So once you have that and you do okay with that, then you should be able to increase from there, with your mileage, with your pace, all that kind of stuff. So but really you need to be gradual about it. And when you first start out, you should be at an easy pace. So usually that's what we call a conversational pace. So you should be able to have a conversation with somebody as you're running. And again, another issue with beginner runners I see is breathing. So if you can't breathe, you obviously can't talk very well. So either your pace is too much, or you need to work on your breathing specifically to control it better. So a couple different things there, but definitely don't overtrain, because that is putting you at very, very high risk for injury. So those are first 2. So we have form, we have training, so overtraining. And then the third one is weaknesses or imbalances in your body. And it's very common, a common place for runners that are weak, and just as humans we are weak because we don't move laterally much, is weakness in our outer hips. So specifically our hip abductor muscles and our glute muscles. And when those are not working and firing for us, we don't have the stability at our pelvis. And so there's this extra motion going on there, and that translates into issues with alignment down the chain. So usually down into the knee, foot and ankle, IT band issues, hip problems, low back pain. It can manifest anywhere along the chain basically. But if you don't have that stability at the top, if everything else is fine, but you don't have that stability up top, then eventually over those miles and hours that you're out, problems can occur, tissue gets irritated, and then you're put on the sidelines and frustrated because you were proud of yourself and doing really well. So weaknesses is another area that tends to be a problem and cause injuries, and again is very preventable. So running form, it may not come naturally to everybody, so it may be something you need to work on. I do video gait analysis over online. I mean, you can send me videos and I can look at those and see if something is up with your form. If you've taken care of everything else and you're still having issues, it may be with your form. So comment below if you're interested in a video running analysis. I'm happy to help with that, or contact you about that. As far as the training and overload, most of the time, if you are following a training plan, a beginner's training plan out there, generally they are set up for success for you. So those are set up in that run walk gradual progression program. So if you're following a program, I highly recommend anybody that's starting to follow a program. Not only is it going to help keep you motivated and on track, but it's going to keep you from overtraining as long as you are keeping your pace easy. So if you've got trouble with a program, or you don't have a program, comment program below and I can help you find a training program that will work for you. And then the last one is weakness. So those weaknesses and imbalances, again, are very common. It's not tough to correct them, even twice a week. And research has shown this. Twice a week strength training can improve your strength and overall fitness and alignment and everything. So twice a week, that's all I do is strength training twice a week. Sometimes it's only 20-minute sessions because I just don't have time for a lot. And I actually developed a program after I had a foot injury this past summer, and I needed to work on my ankle and my foot strength and stability. Also, I've had back and pelvic problems, so I need stability there too. So I took a bunch of other exercises that I had been given and had gone through from work, from working with clients, from working with my own coach, the program she created, and I kind of took what I liked and what fit in to the time I had, and I created a beginner strength program. So I used that. I've been using it now for the past 6 months, and honestly, I haven't, knock on wood, haven't had any issues with injuries, and have been feeling really good. So I have that available. It is a 12-week program. You have access to video follow-alongs. You have access to the plan itself if you don't want to use the videos. And it's, once you purchase it, it's yours. You can do it at will. So I will post the link for that below. If you are someone that feels you need help with strength, comment strength below. Now, that is a generic plan. If you have had specific injuries, you may need strengthening in specific areas. And so a more customized plan might be of benefit. So I also can provide that for you. So if you have dealt with injuries and you're frustrated and you really want to get running, you want help getting back into running, please comment help below and I will contact you about getting on a call even and figuring out what is going to work for you. Because again, I just hate seeing runners injured. I love to help you get back. You know, that's a passion too, but I'd rather just see you not get injured in the first place. And so if following a training plan and strength and running training plan, and maybe even working with a coach, if that's going to keep you from getting injured, it's worth an investment of your time and your money. Trust me. I've been there, I've done it myself, and I've worked with people that have had success with it too. So don't be afraid to, like I said, invest in yourself. So that's what I have for you guys. Watch your form, watch your training. Don't overtrain, don't overdo it, and then do some strengthening. If it's not my stuff, do something. It'll help you prevent those injuries from occurring. So thanks for coming on. Keep running. Have a great day.